Hello everybody, it's me Nate aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another game review. Before I get started, I want to wish you, your friends and family a very safe Memorial Day. This is my review for Ghosts'n Goblins Resurrection for PS4. It was developed and published by Capcom and runs off of the RE engine, the same game engine that runs Resident Evil Village. Yeah, that's really kind of shocking. This game was originally released all the way back in February 25th of 2021 on Nintendo Switch, but now it's finally seen a release on other systems as of June 1st in 2021 on the PC, the PS4, and Xbox. Now, it's really an interesting game. It's a classic 2D side-scrolling platform game where it has 7 different levels that are pretty darn long levels, really. If you played the original game, the levels were insanely difficult, but they were pretty short. This one is insanely difficult, and the levels are really long. And like I said, 7 different levels. Take you maybe, if you rush through it really quick, about maybe 5 hours to beat the game. But once you do that, it will unlock something known as shadow versions that allow you to replay the levels that are shuffled around, different item locations, and different effects added. As you play through this game, Arthur gets 8 different weapons that you can use to fight off all the ghouls and ghosts, and it does have a weird art style. Some people complain about the art style. I kind of like it. It's vibrant. It's really poppy. A lot of people said it looked like Flash art from like a cell phone game, but to me it comes off almost like a Paper Mario style storybook art, and I like it. Visually, it's quite appealing looking. Is it similar to what you've seen on the original game? No, of course not. The old game is pixels. This, like I said, it is an interesting idea for the art style that they chose for this. Now, the other thing with this is, since this is a new version of the game, on the PS4 version, there's really no new content other than if you pre-ordered it, you got like a couple different themes for your PlayStation system. But other than that, this is pretty much the same exact game that people got on Nintendo Switch back on February 25th. Now, the other thing I have to point out about this, since this is a Ghosts'n Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts'n Goblins style game, it does have the ability to upgrade your character with these humble bees that you find that are hidden throughout the levels. It'll tell you at the beginning how many treasure chests there are to find, hidden treasure chests, and how many of these bees to find per level. And it also requires backtracking to get some of these guys. And you use these at this tree to actually upgrade Arthur and unlock new special attacks, new magic attacks, and stuff like that. It's a welcome addition to the game, especially considering the overall difficulty. Now, this does harken back, even though it's a hodgepodge hybrid of Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins. Try saying that 3 times fast. It does not have double jumping. It is just one jump only, and you do not have diagonal shooting. This is up, down, left, right shooting, and one jump. Yeah, seriously. And like I said, it's weird. It's like taking the gameplay elements of the first game and mashing 2 Ghouls and Ghosts and Ghosts and Goblins together. It's really interesting. Now, the other thing is the developer of this game, who was the original developer of Ghosts and Goblins, they wanted this to make sure it still had that really rip your hair out difficulty, but they also wanted to make it to where newcomers could be able to play this title as well. So they did add the ability of multiple different difficulty levels. You can have it on the super hard one, where it's pretty much one hit kill, that's it. You know the classic thing, you get hit once, you lose your armor, you get hit again, and you're dead. That's basically what it can be. Or even on the easier difficulties, you can get hit multiple times and lose multiple pieces of armor before you're finally down in your skivvies, and then you get hit and turn into the classic skeleton and die. Now, on the easiest mode, you'll respawn right where you died. While other ones naturally allow you to respawn back at your previous checkpoint, and the harder difficulties have it to where it's like you have to get through the whole game without dying. Yeah, so honestly, if you're worrying about it not being challenging like the classic Ghosts and Goblins, don't worry, they got you covered. The difficulty is still there. A lot of the levels are frustratingly difficult to get through. Even if you know what you're doing, and like me being an old school gamer, it still has a lot of stuff where it makes you scream at the game. Now, the other thing I have to point out is there still is no real story to this. Yeah, it's just told in like a little storybook format where the scroll opens up at the beginning and there's no text, no voices, nothing. They just kind of show you what happens. Arthur's hanging with his lady in the graveyard, wearing no clothes. Makes you wonder what they were doing in that graveyard for him not be wearing no clothes. But nonetheless, and pretty much Devil shows up, kidnaps his lady, and he's on a quest to save her. Kind of like the classic. It's one part I kind of wish they would have upgraded. Some voices or something would have been nice. Now, like I did say, it is weird. It's like this weird remix hybrid of Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts because of the way the levels are. There's several levels that you'll recognize from Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Ghosts and Goblins, and some that are straight from Ghosts and Goblins, and it's kind of odd. Now, the other thing is the gameplay, while it is fluid and it is, there's really no sort of, problem with the mechanics of, controlling Arthur, it to me comes off as almost like an intentional laggy style of the gameplay. He moves kind of slow and plodding. His jumping can be sporadic when he's jumping, and it just comes off as intentionally stiff. So if you're expecting some massive fluid controls like some of these newer games, no, this is kind of done on purpose like the old classic game where the controls are slow and kind of stiff. Now, the other thing I noticed I really liked is it has a good use of remixed music from the originals with some new music thrown in as well, which I actually really did like it, because after all, this was made by the original creator who returned to make you suffer again. Now, there's also these things that are hidden vortex portals that are in levels that will take you to bonus levels. Now, the one thing I noticed that was interesting and I kind of liked, and I wished it was like this through the whole game, it's almost like the first 3 levels are like a Castlevania 3 sort of setup, to where you'll be allowed to pick one of 2 different stages to go through at these junctions. But once you get to stage 3 and on to the last level of 7, it just goes down to a single stage, which I wish they would have done that for all of them. That would have been so much better. It would have added for more variety, but I'm still kind of nitpicking on that. It does have an auto-save feature, so if you want to, you can stop and come back at a later date and return the game to finish it at your own pace. Unlike the original, which a lot of people would say it's blasphemy to have a save state, when the fact that it's like, no, you're supposed to beat it in one sitting. It's like, come on, people. Games have evolved since the way Ghosts and Goblins originally was. Now, it also has a 2-player co-op mode where the second player controls one of these 3 characters that can float around and shoot, and also has a secondary attack that allows you to help Arthur get through the certain areas, like build bridges, help him across gaps, and so on. And honestly, I have to say, I really do like this game. It is difficult. Visually, it kind of catches you off guard at first compared to the original, but I like the art style, I like the animation, I like the control. It is a little stiff playing, though, like I said, but I do like the boss battles. And the nice little thing, too, is you have a normal ending and a true ending, which requires you to find all 17 of the demon orbs. That means you have to complete every single hellhole, as they're called, all the little hidden warp levels in each, level in order to actually get all 17 demon orbs. And it even gives you a trophy called Congratulations. That's right. If anyone who beat the original knows that when you beat it, all it would say was congratulations. It didn't even say congratulations, right? But in the end, honestly, for this game, which I think is currently $30 on the PlayStation Network, it is only a digital download. You cannot currently get a physical copy of this, which I kind of don't like. I still like physical over digital. But if you want to have a hair-raising good time, even though it might be short, it has a rather good amount of replayability in it and special moves and abilities that you learn by collecting those bees throughout the levels. Honestly, pick up and try to beat Ghosts'n Goblins Resurrection today. It's a blast from the past, and while it might not be one of the best remakes of a game franchise, it's definitely not a slouch. It's not bad. They didn't half-ass it. They did a good job with it. And even though I can see why certain people have certain complaints with this title, in the end, I actually think you would enjoy it if you like the original. So I can actually recommend it. Go ahead and pick it up and play it today. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching these videos. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this review. Leave in the comments below if you played Ghosts'n Goblins Resurrection and what you think of this title. Make sure to hit the bell icon to stay updated whenever I release any new videos on my channel. Please subscribe, and remember, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time.